I wanna ride with you. Always something special to remember. Every time you take a journey.
I'm Veronica, Imaginovator and host, and welcome to the Shaboo Prince Artist Studio, where we'll play hard and embark on your new Odyssey.
It's an inward journey of discovery using your enlivened sense of wonder. Each episode will offer you surprising experiences for deeper imagination and creativity to occur. This is your safe playground where you will discover and liberate your creative originality. Come on in and let's ride.
I wanna ride with you.
Hiya, I'm Veronica, your Imaginovator and host in your new Odyssey. And welcome back to the Shaboo Artist Studio, two places that are just for you in this half hour. A nice, safe, virtual playground where you and I, without anybody else's eyes or judgment, can play with your imagination, explore your imagination through all the fun exercises and immersions that we have here. Because it's important to make that good and strong, because the more imaginative you become, by default, the more creative you will become. And imagine how an increase in creativity can impact your work and your life and your family and your community. Yeah, that's a whole pocket of potential that can be accessed by just having fun and flexing your imagination and creativity. It's important because we do tend to get top heavy in our thoughts, right? It's like this really spinning up here, and that's because we spend most of our time up here. And when you have an overactive mind, there's an interesting consequence. There then resides a creature in the caverns of your mind that will come out when you're feeling a little vulnerable, when you're learning something new, when you're about to have a new experience, that can stop all of that. And we're going to talk about that creature this week.
Hiya, I'm your assistant, Imaginovator Veronica, and I will help you get the most out of your new Odyssey, a program unlike anything you've ever seen before. Each episode is a grab bag of various creativity experiences and activities that will get you thinking in new ways and increase your curiosity for your imagination and creative self-expression. All you have to do is sit back, have an open mind, and watch. And I guarantee you will get something good for yourself out of the next half hour.
Yeah, so when we use this primarily, we get a little top heavy. And there's this whole other muscle here, which is where your creativity comes from, that we try to build here at your new Odyssey. Because when you get top heavy and you're really only in the mind and it's spinning, there is a creature that will come out and actually interfere with experiences that could aid to your growth, like creating something new or innovating or engineering or anything like that. You might feel a little vulnerable because you don't yet know how to do it. It will rise up and show up. And one of the indications that you'll know it is around you or someone else is when you hear someone say, "I can't." Yeah, no can do. And so the creature I'm talking about is the NOCANDO bird. Yeah, and it will happen when you feel very vulnerable. When you look at children, you realize, wow, they just dive right into something. You can ask a kid, become a lion, and they'll drop on the ground and start roaring in a minute. They can dive right in to their imagination and creativity. And so it's just being mindful of the no-can-do bird and that it exists, right? And that's half the battle. But you want to then flex this muscle when you know it's there, because you don't want it to stop you from having experiences, from learning something new, from adventuring. And I think all of us will have a moment in our memory where we realize the no-can-do bird showed up and took over. So it's just being mindful that it exists and that there are things that we can do to manage the no-can-do bird and know and recognize when it does show up. Yeah, and I think the curly-haired girl has a thing or two to show us about the no-can-do bird.
Whoa, beware! The no-can-do bird is always looking for a place to land. Ooh, did you know that no-can-do birds stay away from people who say yes to their creativity? As children, we were open to creatively expressing ourselves and we said yes a lot. Do you want to play?
Yes!
Do you want to dance?
Yes!
Do you want to see something new?
Yes!
But as we grow up, we tend to become less open to freely expressing ourselves,
No can do.
and we don't want to be judged. Do you want to play?
I don't have time.
Do you want to dance?
No, I'm not good at it.
Do you want to see something new?
Is it good?
If you do see a no-can-do bird, it may mean someone is avoiding vulnerability. Trying something new requires not knowing the outcome and means letting go of control. There is a fixed mindset. No-can-do birds believe they can't succeed outside of their comfort zone. There is fear of judgment and failure. Someone has a very strong inner critic.
No can do. No can do.
The trick to keeping no-can-do birds away is being comfortable with your creative impulses and knowing they are gifts to the world. Me and Imaginovator Veronica created your new Odyssey so you can be safe to explore deeper levels of your imagination and creativity without judgment. You being here is proof of your willingness to try new things, which is sure to keep the no-can-do bird away. Let's explore your creative mindset now with an introspective question. Let's now awaken your heart with an introspective question. Notice any resistance you may feel or messages from the mind that may keep you from your deeper knowing. Let your heart respond. Your heart never lies.
Yeah, beware of your no-can-do bird. We each have one, so it's gonna be there. I don't know if there's a lot we could do to get rid of it because we're top heavy, but it's about flexing a counter muscle that could calm it down, and it will prevent it from stopping you from having new experiences. It'll prevent you from avoiding learning curves and having more adventure and growth in your life. And so, I think as adults, we really suffer from the no-can-do bird even more. And that's why I think this is a good time for the blank page tour. Now, the blank page tour exercise is one of our more advanced. All of the other immersions, you have a lot of graphics and color and things for the mind to grab onto and use to inspire your imagination. And with the blank page tour, we take all that away and have you rely solely on your imagination to create a blank, to create something in a blank space for sure. Now, most adults are very uncomfortable, sometimes rightfully so, based on experience, on the unknown, on a void, on a blank space, on a blank canvas. Yeah, and so this kind of confronts that and tells you whether or not there is a no-can-do bird to be aware of. And when you live more from your creative heart, you see blank space less as something fearful and more of an opportunity, more as a portal for you to fill with your wild imagination. And imagine how that changes how you see everything in life. Yeah, so this is a really strong and powerful exercise that might indeed trigger your no-can-do bird. And it's an opportunity for you just to be aware of that. And I only ask that you fill a blank space for 1 minute and notice whether or not that feels particularly long. And that's something that we'll work towards. So I think it's first important always to shift from where we're at to being willing and traveling into your imagination. And we'll just take a nice deep breath in, hold at the top and exhale. We'll do that now. Hold at the top, feels so good to expand those lungs, and a nice long exhale out. I think you're ready. Yeah, so I would like you to come a little closer and look at this field. Come even a little more closer and take a close look at this field.
Most adults only skim the surface of their imagination and creativity, like snorkelers, but your creative genius lies deeper. That's why you'll need tools like kaleidoscope journeys, curly-haired Tao, and this blank page tour. They will help you dive more deeply into your far-out imagination. Deep imaginovation requires going away from conventionality, where most people remain. It takes a bit more courage, and that's why I'm here, to make you feel secure enough to explore the fantastic unknown, accessible through your super imagination. It's at this deep level your creative, original self waits to talk with you. This is about freeing yourself from conventionality, which is everywhere and very subtle. It can even hide in pencil and paper. And that's why we will draw with nothing but your heart. I will now cue some inspirational music. Let the music help you float up and into this other dimension where there is no time, no pressure, no heaviness. Be comfortable in this blank space and let what exists here begin to stir. I will now shuffle various shapes and lines and randomly select one for this blank page tour. Ah, yes, this one is very good. Imagine this shape to create anything you want. For example, you can orientate this upside down or clockwise. You can multiply it or change its size as much as you want. You can use it to create pictures or designs or patterns, anything you want. Hold this shape in your imagination because I will now remove it. For the next minute, play with the shape in your imagination. Creatively use it as much as you can on this blank field. Joining us on these blank page tours keeps you in discovery mode and lessens feelings of doubt and insecurity, not to mention that they supercharge your imagination and creativity. Let's look at your current creativity level based on this experience and what that may mean for you. If your imagination uses the shape 1 to 10 times, you are creative. That means you know you are meant for more and why you may feel stuck in a current situation. You struggle with self-doubt and don't share some of your best ideas because your mind is a very good enforcer of conventionality. Here is some of the creative growth that is ahead for you. Tapping into your creative genius to do more of what you love and do it best. Spending more time in environments that offer you bigger opportunities. Finding a community that agrees you have untapped potential. Here are a few benefits to look forward to if you use more imagination and creativity in your life. Becoming more confident. Improving as a brilliant idea generator, receiving much more joy and far less stress. And repairing your sense of destiny. If your imagination used the shape 11 to 24 times, you are very creative. You are ready to expand into the unknowns of more abundance and success, but struggle with waves of imposter syndrome and the drag of not always feeling like you belong. You aren't stuck but feel antsy. You are creatively brilliant but don't always see how it applies. You seek a new community that can help take you to the next level. Here is some of the creative growth that is ahead for you. Building the trust you have for your creative genius. Discovering ways to apply your ideas. Getting accustomed to a higher public profile, and considering your leadership potential. Here are just a few benefits to look forward to if you use more imagination and creativity in your life. Seeing more opportunities, being more courageous, valuing your creative originality, feeling that your destiny is closer than ever before, all of which will increase your energy and joy. If your imagination used the shape 25 or more times, you are a star imaginovator. You are very independent. You are a leader who makes a difference. You oftentimes feel misunderstood. You seek to work only in the creative flow and live in discovery mode. But you have pressure between creative flow and conventionality. Here is some of the creative growth that is ahead for you. Delegating and team building, creating optimal home and work environments, community leadership, teaching, better time management, finding new ways to use your signature talent. Star Imaginovators can always use more imagination and creativity, and here's why. You need more relaxation and more aha moments. You will grow as an influencer. You will experience greater fulfillment and touch your destiny. And you will have more energy and drive. Do you want to know what I see in a blank page? I see a portal to an otherworldly place where I can see new pathways and have new ideas. Here's what my imagination created with this shape. I love diving into the vastness of imagination where my creative originality is, and where ideas like the iPhone, Uber, and the everlasting gobstopper come from. This is the perfect time for some backyard lemonade with Colleen. She always has something refreshing that is sure to help you on your Odyssey.
Hi, curly-haired girl. And thank you. I would love to reframe how we think of ourselves as being stuck. What if, instead of a problem, we saw it as a pause, an opportunity to be curious rather than critical? And what if, instead of a wall, it's a doorway? And perhaps it's a sign that another perception, perspective wants to come in to what you're creating. Or perhaps it's a sign you're disconnected from your body, from your soul, from what you're creating, from your being. So as you go about your day, soften your gaze. Let something catch your attention. A sound, a color, a shape. Doesn't matter what it is, but let it in. Let it speak. And bring your whole self to it. And dance it, paint it, hum it, taste it. Have fun. When you do this, you bring meaning to it and to your day. And you create a reconnection, a connection to your body, to yourself, to wonder, to presence, and to a heart in motion.
Thanks to Colleen, we have another refreshing angle to ponder regarding what it means to be imaginative and creative. Let's get a pearl of serendipity from Imaginator Veronica's collection.
Yeah, blank page tour can be a bit of a challenge. And did your no-can-do bird kick up? Yeah, it's just being mindful that it exists and to move past it anyway. And you do that by flexing your creative muscle, which comes through your heart. And then you balance this intellect with this intellect and imagine that. When you start to do that, you start to see the world with more information because you're seeing it from here and from here. Wow, imagine that. So you actually know more because you're seeing more. You start to really look at things differently and you start to ask different questions about why is that there and why do you think that's its purpose is. You become more engaged in life overall. And it's the same. You did this when you were young. It's just bringing you back there. Imagine living every day more like that. Yeah, well, during my creative journey, and I started to see the world more through my creative heart, I started becoming aware of things like bits of knowing or information that just seemed like core truths. And I started to write them down. They were just so profound, and I'd show my family and my friends, and they'd all say, yeah, isn't that the truth? So I started putting them on little pieces of paper and calling them pearls of wisdom. And I have just a few here. There's a lot more. This is just a few of them. And there'll be more created and identified and written down every day as I live with my creative heart. And so I'm going to use this moment as a fun experiment. Because as you live more through your creative heart, you will, as another benefit, see more coincidence, have more chances, more opportunities will show up. They're always there. But because you're seeing more, not only from here, but from here, you start to see more of that. You start to experience more serendipity, which is something that appears to be a coincidence, but has meaning to it. Yeah, coincidence. And so I thought it'd be a great experiment to have you help me select a pearl of wisdom that will possess a message that is meant for you right now. Isn't that something? So yeah, let's do that. We'll play. And we always change from where we're at to going someplace else that's a little more willing. And we do that simply by relaxing. And let's take a nice deep breath in, hold at the top and exhale. Feels so good to stretch those lungs, and we'll let that air out nice and long and slow. Yeah, I think we're ready. So now I would like you to imaginatively come here into the Shaboo Artist Studio with me. and help guide my hand to select a pearl of wisdom that will have a message for you. And I'll rummage around until I feel a warm spot, which is you telling me where to go. And I think this is it. This is our pearl. So I'll put the bowl down. And so the pearl of wisdom that you selected is: opportunities are never lost, only circling for another attempted landing. I've got chills. Isn't that the truth? Let me read it again. Opportunities are never lost, only circling for another attempted landing. Opportunities, chance, serendipity, always there, never goes away. It's whether or not you can see them, grab them, and take advantage of them when they fly by, right? And to do that, we want to quiet the mind, open the heart, so that you can start to live through your creative heart, so that you can see the opportunities that are always there. Yeah, good stuff. So keep coming back to your new Odyssey every week, where we'll keep peeling back the layers, exploring your creative genius, and simply bringing you back to your youthful, creative, genius self. But until then, don't forget to live big and play hard.
For program resources and more, visit shabooprints.com.